I really want your guys' opinion about this. I'm starting to believe, and I think it's true, that Bronny is straight up trolling us. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence, but I really think he's messing with me, you, his dad, and everyone. Bronny played in 2 more games today, and he also played in a game last night. We already talked about that. You know how it goes. It was disappointing, and as sad as it is to say, ever since he's returned from his injury a couple of months ago, well, not a couple months ago, a month ago, it's been bad. There's many words you can use to describe how he's been playing, but it's been disappointing and it's been frustrating. He hasn't been aggressive, he doesn't have that killer mentality, which goes hand in hand, and he hasn't even looked like the second, third, or even fourth best player on the court. I'm not here to beat him down over his previous performances and what happened yesterday, but I do want to touch on this. I can't take up for Bronny anymore like I said yesterday, and I refuse to. He hasn't played like a 4/5-star recruit, he hasn't played like a person who's 6'3" and can jump out of the gym, and he hasn't played like LeBron's son. He's been playing like an average basketball player, and that's all there is to it. And if you don't believe me, think about this. Let's reverse the roles. In their game yesterday, Gabe Cupp scored 26 points and Bronny scored 7 points. But for some reason, nobody wants to give Gabe Cupp his flowers and talk about his performance. But if it was reversed and Bronny dropped 26 points, Twitter, Instagram, and the world would have exploded. People till this day go crazy when Bronny dunks in the warm-up line or drops more than 10 points. Could you imagine if he scored 26? So yeah, just keep that in your mind. If you want to say he's one of the best players, then hold him accountable like we hold other great players. With all of that bad stuff being said, today he had a shot at not just 1 game of redemption, but 2. And today perfectly, and I mean perfectly, sums up Bronny James as a player. In his first game, Team Strive for Greatness did wind up losing, and Bronny only scored 6 points. The funny part about it is that Ball is Life and all these other companies will still post videos of Bronny dunking in the warm-up line, and they'll show a couple of layups and dunks from the game. Look, we get it, Bronny's athletic, but he's wasting his athletic ability. If you're only gonna go out there in back-to-back games and give me 7 and 6 points, you're wasting your talent. We're talking about AAU. There's no defense being played, and you're only giving me 6.5 points per game in 2 games, and you're over 6'3" and you have a 40-inch vertical. Basically, all he's been doing is passing the ball and running around in a circle like he's exercising for PE. He hasn't been a factor on the court, and nobody is scared of him. When these other players hear that they have to play Bronny James, they're not scared of that, and why would you be? One sign of a great basketball player is that when you have to go up against them, you sort of not necessarily get scared, but you know it's going to be a rough night. That's not the case for Bronny. Right now, you listening, if you had to hear that you had to play Bronny, would you be scared? I don't think so. He's not a threat on the court, and he's too nice. I'll say it. He's too nice, and he needs to be more mean. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the first game because it's one that entire team would like to forget. They lost, Bronny didn't play good, so they did play later, and let's talk about this. In the first quarter of his second game, he somewhat surprisingly came out shooting, and he shot 3 threes and made 2 of them, went 2 of 3 from the field, and had 6 points in the first quarter, which is what he's been scoring in 4 quarters. So hey, right there, scores 6 in the first quarter. You're thinking maybe he could have a breakout performance. But going into halftime, he had 6 points, so he lets off the gas. I want you to look at this right here. In the first quarter, and this tells you a lot about Bronny as a player, he was 2 for 3 from the field with 6 points. Going into half, he had 6 points and was 2 for 5 from the field. That means in the second quarter, he missed 2 of his shots and he lost his confidence. I used to think he was a confident player, but I don't see him as that anymore, and I feel like he's scared to shoot a lot of shots. He's efficient, yes, but anybody can be efficient when you're only shooting 4 to 5 shots per game. When's the last time we saw a game where Bronny took 12 shots? I don't even know. He passes the ball too much, he wants to be carried, and I'd say he's roughly the 4th or 5th option always on his team. I originally thought it was because he was playing with Amari Bailey, but I don't think that's the case. But guess what? In the second half, he didn't take over, but it was a step in the right direction and he was attacking more. The second half was very close and it wound up going to overtime. They did lose, but it's not that big of a deal because we got to focus on Bronny. From the overall field, he finished 5 from 12, and from the 3-point line, he was 4 for 10 and had 16 points. I would like to see him attack more and get to the free throw line and not shoot as many threes, but he hit 40% of them, so that's a good day. Here's the thing and the crazy part about that. He didn't even have a good game, and I don't feel like he was that good. I feel like he could easily go out there and drop 30 points with his talent, shooting ability, and nobody can stop him when he drives. He's got those broad shoulders like LeBron, and he's super athletic. I think he could drive to the goal and lay the ball up and score 30 points. Why it's frustrating for me, it could be different for you, but I cover all these great players, and they go out there every single night and drop 40 points and make it look easy. And I know Bronny can do the same thing. But I'm not going to give him credit and praise him for dropping this 16-point game. And here's why. All these other 4- and 5-star recruits just like him go out there and drop 30 points on a regular basis. In Bronny's past 9 to 10 games, he's yet to have a game with over 20 points. Let that sink in. Does that really sound like a 4/5-star recruit? I don't think so. If he was a freshman in college, you could understand it, but not for high school. The competition is extremely weak, especially if you have the skill set of Bronny. I told you guys yesterday, and I'm sticking by it. I'm not giving him credit when it's not due. If it's due, I will, but it's not, and I'm not going to praise him for having a moral victory. The sad truth about Bronny at the moment, it could change, but he's not that great of a player. He hasn't proven to me that he can be great yet, and he's not even a good player, and I said it. He's playing like an average role player on a high school team. If you want to take a deeper look at it, let's just do that. You can say 16 points was good, but he was still only the 4th leading scorer on his team. So why are we not talking about Isaac McKinley, who dropped 20 points, or Caden Warner, who had 16, or Trey White, who was 8 for 12 and had 19? I get it, he's the fan favorite, but he's not playing like he should be. I'm done with it, and I can't emphasize it enough. I'm done with it. There's no excuse for him to not drop 30 points every single game. We're talking about a 6'3", basically demigod. We see all these clips before the game where he's doing 360 and between the legs dunks. Well, why doesn't he keep that same energy in the games? He hasn't proven a single thing. He hasn't proven to anyone that he's even built for the moment, and I think he's scared of it. And I don't even know if he likes or cares about basketball, because it doesn't seem like it. No disrespect at all. I love Gabe Cupps. He's a great and outstanding player. But there is no excuse for Bronny to get that outplayed last night. 26 points to 7 points. Cupps is a 6-foot point guard that maybe at max has a 25-inch vertical. I'd say he's sneaky athletic and sneaky quick, but compared to Bronny, it's not even close. But yet somehow Gabe goes out there and just kills his team. So technically, if everyone wants to say that Bronny is better than Gabe Cupps, that means he should outperform him and score more than him. Not giving out any free passes, today was a controversial game and it's a Bronny performance, and here's why. We saw flashes of greatness and we think he can be great, but he hasn't proven it, and I am off the hype train. I don't care until he goes out there and has maybe a back-to-back game where he drops 25 points plus. I'm off it. If this was any other average Joe, y'all wouldn't even give him any recognition. It's just because he's LeBron's son. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. I know you guys will. But with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, wait on. Join the family. Hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.